So I'll try to dig into the actual talk that I didn't get during the Q&A. And also, if any of you, be it personal or business, have issues with your PLDT or smart line, I'm very much willing to help. My email is csople@pldt.com.ph, csople@pldt.com.ph. Mabagal ang PLDT ninyo, fiber ninyo, may topak ang smart nyo, email nyo. I'll do my best. Okay? Just give you the example for customer experience. So, I will be a leader in the company for 1 year and 6 months. And I really feel that while several of my friends told me that it would be a bad decision to join Telco, I really feel that it was the best decision that I could ever make. One thing that my grandfather taught me when I was still young is that if you can be part of the solution of something that you are really passionate about, go for it. As a tech blogger, I've done nothing but rant about the telco industry for over a decade. And there was an opportunity to try to be part of the solution. And I'm very much happy and proud to be in the group. And again, if there's anything that you guys have concerns on your landlines or your fiber connections, be business or personal, I'll be more than happy and willing to help you guys. Now, apart from being in a telco, I used to be from agency land. So I used to work with Dentsu. And prior to that, prior to being bought out, I was with EM9, So I was there for a little over 4 years. So I was fortunate enough to have both experience in the telco side, the client side, as well as agency. Now, apart from being an agency, and this is probably who I really am, I am really deep inside a content creator. I've been a blogger for more than 10 years, maybe around 13, 14 years. I've been a YouTuber, whatever that word is called now these days, content creators then or whatever, for tech, over around 3-4 years. For speakers, which is something that I'm getting into and having so much fun with for the last 3 months. So more or less, that's who I really am. I like to create content. It's part of who I am. I've probably written over 10,000 articles already when it comes to blogs. In the last 3 months, I produced and shot and edited and starred in, kasi ako yung YouTuber, ako yung nag-edit, ako yung shoot 60 videos in the last 2 months. So that's roughly 1 video per day. That's on top of working in a telco and running a business. When I get home, that's the first thing that I do. Nakaset up na siya, isang kwarto doon. Bubuo ko dito, may camera, may ring light, salita. Punta dito, may isang camera, pagpunta ko dito, nag-edit. So, it's a process already. So, that's who I really am. I may be a telco guy, I may used to be an ad guy, but at the very core of who I am a content creator. It's my aspiration that in the next 5 years, after 5 years, I can retire and just be a YouTuber. That is my aspiration. That's my goal. Because I just love to create videos and to just share. And that's who I am. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Now, being in telco right now provides a lot of opportunities to be able to get to that goal. Pero yun yung vision. So hopefully, in 5 years, kung makikita ulit ako sa ganito, ang focus niyo is how to transition into becoming a YouTuber. So, okay. So with that background, this is the topic of this talk. Today, I want to pitch to you the idea of building your in-house creative team. Ooh. Union topic. Why is it important to take a look at building in-house capabilities? To the agencies in the room, this is a challenge for you guys. Because this is what you're up against. To the clients in this room, this is a massive opportunity that you should also take a look into. Okay, so alam niyo yung war games style of workshops, when you think what in this team is. So to those who are in agency now, think about this. Because I'm not making this up. Because this is something that we're doing in the PLDT Smart Group, and this is something that a lot of clients are also doing as well. So your main competitor, guys, is not your fellow agencies. Your main competitor is the threat of eventually clients building capabilities in-house. So today, I will be pitching the idea of why in the digital age, it is important to build capabilities within the company and not outsource it. The one key lesson that I've learned being a content creator and being in both client and advertising is this. Content is greater than production. The production quality is second to the actual message that you're trying to say. I can get a cell phone video of low resolution and be more viral than a 10 million budgeted PPC. Period. I can do that anything. That's how powerful content is. That's how powerful technology is. Because today, if you have a strong message, if you have a relevant message, and your timing is perfect, you can just go viral overnight. And that's one key thing that a lot of people, especially on the client side, need to remember as well. The biggest challenge for clients is mahilig sila mag-revise masyado madaming beses. Mahilig magpalaki ng logo. Diba? Mahilig magpalaki ng product right. Malagay benta o saan-saan. Kung gusto nyo magbenta, kung mga PPC tsaka radio or static ad, kung gusto nyo mga video na mag-viral, huwag nyo lagyan ng ano. Diba? Kung ano benta, hindi na kasi figure. But anyway, lumalas maka-ahead siya. So, yung mga hugot, diba? Hashtag hugot. Because of it, but we used to have a client, hindi ko na sabihin, hindi na ako nasa agency. Basta alam yung mga Facebook post, nakala mo print ad, ano yun? Yung tipong umagahin kayo para lang ayusin yung kulay ng produkto, para lang sa Facebook post, pero ka-exaggerate. That is not the best way to do digital because it slows down the entire process. But anyway, yung point ko, content is greater than production. Because if you have a strong message or relevant message, your message can be amplified. So again, that's key. You don't need to invest in all the best cameras to create an in-house studio. You don't need to buy, the 1 million studio setup. You can actually go to Henry's Professional or Camera House and buy setup lights worth 5,000 pesos. All the gear that I have at home are bought from Henry's Professional. Is a Chinese brand called Boya. The lapel mic is 700 pesos. The lapel wireless mic is 2,000 pesos. Kung nasira po yun, pumunta ako CTRT, meron din. It's not high-tech or low-tech, it's practical. Practical. What can you create? What can you do with the stuff that you have today? Because, for example, most of the videos that I do on my blog today are really shot down either on my smartphone or on point-and-shoot camera, even an SLR. So it really goes to show that you don't need the most expensive gear. And this lesson has been something that we've been really trying to imbibe, even within the group, as we try to take a look at how to build in-house capabilities for creating in-house spending in-house. Again, the myth of spending too much to be able to put together content, that's really not true anymore. It's really more than a message, more than ingredients. Number 2 lesson that I learned is that you're really, and this I think more on the creative side when it comes to agencies, you really have to stop yourself from falling in love with your work. Because if there's one thing that's key today that wasn't present before, it's analytics. Because data is emotionless, data is gold, but data is often always true. Ang daming mga tao na in love sa gagawa ko ng viral video na 3 minutes. Tapos talagay ko sa Facebook. Pero yung tingnan mo sa Facebook, the view-through rate is 6%, 7%, 8%. So they don't even get to see a tenth of what the video is that you create. So that's the reality when it comes to digital. Data and analytics can be very cold, can be very emotionless, and it can hurt a lot of creative egos in the process. Here's the reality that not a lot of marketers embrace. Number 1, unahin natin yung mga obvious. Number 1, you never should ever put PPCs on Facebook. That is ridiculously stupid. You do not do that. We've done it ourselves, and we've seen the results. It's not good. The view-through rate is terrible. It's horrible. You spend so much on media, and then they just watch like 6, 7, 8%. Unless you have a really fantastic material that can get the person to watch the entire 30 seconds, or maybe at least half. Don't bother putting your money there. Because yung views na nakikita nyo sa Facebook is really not a real representation if the material is effective or not. Because on Facebook, it's just 3 seconds for it to be counted as a view. And it's even autoplay. So kahit 1 million pa yung nakalagay dyan na views, majority of those probably are within like a 3 to 5 second autoplay range. So are you getting the right kind of engagement? Is your message really sinking in? So yun din yung one of the key things why it's important to go in-house. Kasi when it comes to data and analytics, the people who can actually react to it the best, the fastest, are the people who are creating the content, who are in-house. Kasi magkakaroon pa kayo ng feedback cycle, sabihin natin with other partners and stuff like that, and you're not able to feed the data, and the agency is not able to quickly work on it, or the creative is not able to quickly adjust, your customers will not wait for you. to adjust and to change. Kaya hindi kasi the idea, so you need to be able to change it yourself. Okay? So again, don't fall in love with the work. Next, fast is better than perfect. This is really, really critical in today's age. Because timeliness is one of the biggest factors when it comes to virality. Because if your message is relevant, people start to engage with it and it gets more points on the algorithms of both Facebook and YouTube. Most of you who are in digital already know about that. Now the problem is if there are other parties and that you are working with other people, or if the approval process of the client is too slow, because that is also a big problem as well. If the approval process is meron kang assistant brand manager, brand equity, whatever, marketing director, CEO, ay good luck, walang mangyari sa'yo. Tsaka pagdating nun, pag marami na nag-comment, Frankenstein na yun. Di ba? Yung original creative gem of an idea from a viral video becomes a TVC. That's what the digital. Diba? So again, fast is better than perfect. You need to be able to create a process internally in building the content as well as approving the content so that it gets shipped, posted, uploaded as soon as possible. Especially in the age where you want to write in hack culture. And there are things happening that you want to write to be able to create content. This is really, really important because it drives relevance. Next, you need to learn how to hack the medium. And I say hack the medium, you take a look at YouTube. There are a lot of little elements there that not a lot of people. Alam mo can I just say, ang lakas ng ilaw, hindi ko nawawalan ako ng weight. Sakto. Mas dahil pakito. O, di ba? Hindi ko nawalan 2 pounds. Next point is hack the medium. So when I say hack the medium, it's really about taking out the thumbnail, the things that a lot of people do not put serious thinking on. For example, a lot of agencies, partners, and even clients will put so much effort into the entire storyboard, as you should. But do you actually take the time to think about what your caption will be, what your thumbnail will be, how attention grabbing that picture will be so that people will click? Here's a secret. Most of the bloggers today spend most time thinking about the caption and the thumbnail than editing and actually figuring out what the content will be for the day. Because that thumbnail, that caption, can mean like 1 million views. That's how critical that thumbnail is. And yet a lot of clients and a lot of agencies and a lot of publishers don't think about it. That thumbnail is critical. That caption is just as important. So again, you need to be able to learn how to hack the medium so that you know what can get your audience to click, to share, to like, and to subscribe. Subscribing on YouTube is one of the most important things if you're building like content hubs for yourselves. And if you take a look at most of the content of brands today, it's not incorporated in their overall message and in their overall content. Next, real-time analytics and reports. This is something that I struggle with both on the creative side, the digital side, and the media side. The current way of doing media today is that you get the report 2 weeks after the campaign, or if the campaign is already done. Diba? You won't get the report when you need it. You have to wait until the campaign is over before you're given the report. And it's understandable because it takes a lot of man-hours, effort to be able to put together those reports. But the reality is, we need those reports now. It cannot wait. Because you can change the creatives, you can change the material, you can change different things based on the reports that you're getting in real time. But the challenge is that's not the way things are built, obviously, today. The reports come after a long, long period of time. And that, I think, is another critical thing when it comes to content creation. And why you should also take a look at even exploring putting media in-house. Digital media buying in-house. Because you can get reports faster. You can get reports, as in literally, pati na dashboard, tapos. The challenge to the agency side is how do you create a process so that your clients can see the data without you having to crunch the numbers and put it on a PowerPoint file to send it over to them, or an Excel sheet. Is there a way to automate it? Is there a dashboard that you can create so that everybody can just access it when needed? So again, that data is critical to be able to come up with different kinds of content as you go. And last, and this is probably the most important reason why you should take a look at building content impact. When it comes to digital, quantity is just as important as quality. When it comes to performance marketing, here's the dirty truth. The less creative you are, the better. What do you mean by that? If the ad says, parang kunyari, share this experience with your friends, wala mo siya nag-click. Pero pag naglagay kami ng ad, postpaid plan, 1799, get 5 gig, maraming nag-click. Pag sobrang ganda ng picture, ganyan, walang nag-click. Lagay kami ng telepono, ang dami nag-click. So when it comes to actual, content, when it comes to performance, when it comes to people wanting to actually buy or influence behavior, we're not necessarily a PLDT Group, creative group, but when it comes to actual performance, it's actually the most straightforward message that's important. But adding a layer on top of that, it's creating the right message for the right person. The usual way of doing marketing is static broadcasting. You create one material, you blast it to everybody. In digital, what we're learning now is that one material needs to be translated to at least 10 types of other forms of materials. And when I say 10 different materials, I'm not saying 10 different channels. I'm saying 10 permutations of talking to 10 different segments of the same market. Because a mom, there are different kinds of moms. There's not just one mom. There's a single mom, there's a working mom, there's a mom at home, there's a mom with multiple kids, there's a mom who hates his husband, etc., etc., etc. So there are a lot of profiles, and they respond to different things. So the challenge for companies who want to move into performance digital content is that it's no longer about creating one creative material. It's about mapping out your customer, taking a look at the different psychographics, different buckets, and expanding your creative material so you can talk to everybody. That's just part one. One thing we also learned is that you need to refresh your material at least after a week. Because in digital, if it's the same material, same frequency, patay na yan after second week. The diminishing returns is really bad. So it's not enough that you create 10. After week 1, you create another 10. Week 3, another 10. Week 4, another 10. So yun yung challenge. If you will work with a partner that doesn't have that capability yet, then the costs will skyrocket. The costs will balloon. But for my learnings, that's the best way of doing things. Because again, there is no one kind of mom. There are multiple kinds of moms. And you need to be able to tweak the material so that you're able to talk to them the right way and tweak the message the right way. Here's the ending of what you guys need. You need quantity, quality, affordable, guided by analytics, and relevant content. You give that as a brief to your partners and you will get a really expensive CD. And it's nothing wrong with that right now because that's how the industry is built. There are a few companies, there are a few agencies who are trying it out, being able to shift from a traditional agency to a digital content creation agency by building in-house capabilities so that they can create on the fly. To the agencies who are in the room, I would highly recommend that you guys check out the business model of VaynerMedia. VaynerMedia is the agency built by Gary Vaynerchuk. It's based in the US. It's one of the best digital content creation agencies out there. Most of the principles that I talked to you guys about today, those are the principles that he actually pushes when it comes to content creation. So yun yung model na tinitingnan nila. And that's the model that we should be taking a look at as well. So what does this mean for the PLDT Smart Group? Hindi ko mga 4 pounds na nawala sa akin. Iba yung tubig. Parang tumagtag naman yung 1 pound. So anyway, so what are we doing in the PLDT Smart Group? Yeah, yay! Thank you. Okay, because siya, parang celebrity, no? Nagkadala ng tubig. Okay, so what are we doing in the group? We put up our own internal unit. It's called the Marketing and Creative Studio. We've been hiring agency people. I'm not saying this to coach. You're here to coach. But I'm saying, here's one thing that I've learned. I love working with agency guys. I love working with agency people because their creativity is boundless and endless. Their energy is infectious. And their drive to create and just deliver is insane. So sa lahat po ng mga taga-ahensya dito, tingin niyo po sarili niyo ng masigabong palakpak. Sabay, may email, sinabi ko na kanina, hashtag, alam na this. Kala niyo, para sa reklamo lang yun, ha? Ang sige din yun. Diba? So, we created the marketing and creative studio, and it's been doing really, really well. We took a look at the value versus rate card of the lowest agency rates that we could find. And versus the salaries being paid those guys, it's exponential gains. The value that's being unlocked by the creative materials that they're producing, be it for digital, ATL, merchandising, whatever. And we're now starting to take a look at even bringing ideation of big campaigns to try to take a look at doing it in-house. Obviously, there are campaigns that should still be pitched, that should still be handled by creative agencies, because there is always merit in having people taking a look at what you want to do, especially big campaigns. That will always be there, lalo yung mga creative na TVC. Laging nandyan yan. But for the quick and dirty, multiple type of materials, where you need to create like 50 small videos, 50 animated clips, different kinds of GTNs and all that stuff, we try to do that in-house. As well as eventually creating more content for our YouTube channel, because we really start to see ourselves more as a content company now, especially now that we're moving into digital marketing. Again, we unlocked incredible value, savings, and most importantly, this is what I want to highlight. We are unlocking and building expertise. We are building internal capabilities. We are building people who can become leaders of this company who are truly digital. Truly digital. Yung hindi lang umaasa sa iba. Yung talagang kaya gumawa ng strat ora mismo. Yung kaya gumawa ng kahit ano, kaya kailangan mag-Photoshop, hindi mag-Photoshop, whatever it takes. Diba? Yun yung type of talent that I want to build and harness in the group. Hashtag, email address pala nila. Okay? So, pero you guys get the idea. Okay? So, yun yung type of people that you need to be able to harness and create, because that's what it will take to succeed in the digital age. My message is very clear. The consumers will not wait for you. They will not wait for your agencies to evolve. You need to take control of it as businesses and do it yourselves if you can't find the right partner. But if you can find the right partner, good for you. Pakilala niyo sa akin. Gusto ko na sila katrabaho. Diba? So, yun po yung pagdating sa when it comes to creating marketing. Again, content creation, if you ask me, is now a core, not just digital, it's a core marketing skill. Especially in this day and age where in content just keeps on evolving with all the different technologies and videos and the wealth of data that tells you what's right or what's wrong. And if there's one key message also that I want to put on the table, is that you should always challenge what you are told. You should never accept the status quo. Because if people tell you that the frequency dapat for Facebook ads is just 2 times a week, kasi yun yung best way. Pero seriously, common sense. Common sense lang. Pag gumamit ka sa Facebook, hindi tignan mo ba? Hindi, di ba? I mean, seriously, gumamit ka sa Facebook. Nakikita niyo yung ads? Siguro, in glance on it, but does it say 2 times a week? Huwag yung take ka. We tried 7 times a day. Kasi sinagat namin. Sabi ni Facebook, no, don't do that! Sabi ni media agency, no, parang ako, bakit ang gundo? Laki na babayad namin sa'yo. I want to find out. Because you have analytics and data that will tell you what works. I don't need theories. I don't need recommendations not based on actual data from my business. I need to see it. And then when it works, then we calibrate and we adjust and we change. Because that's what I need. Real data that actually supports whatever the business objective is. Now, what the optimum amount is in terms of frequency, I will not tell you. Kasi laki na ginasis ko para malaman yun. Diba? So, kaso siya. But you guys can try it out. Marilo lang pala. But I think it's different per industry, per business. Makikita nyo at what time do they click? At what frequency per week do they click? At what frequency per week? How often should you change the materials? Believe me, the wealth of knowledge that you will get from challenging norms and status quo to what even the Facebooks and Googles of this world tell you, maragugulat kayo. At the end of the day, guys, trust your common sense. Trust your gut. If your gut tells you that 2 times a week sounds weird, then try different. Because there's no one expert in your business really. You can have all the partners in this world, you can have all the agencies, the best creatives, but at the end of the day, the expert of the business and the consumer that you're serving should be you. When it comes to digital content creation, you want to unlock and declaw the approval process. You want to unlock the delays. You want to change all of that so that you can deliver faster and better. Own it. Do it yourself. Learn by yourself. And you'll believe me, you'll be amazed with the amount of learnings, the wealth of knowledge, and the expertise that you'll build along the way. Lastly, to the agencies in the room, let me just reiterate the point. This is seriously being looked at by a lot of clients today. The capability to build creatives, media, specifically for digital in-house. Now, the challenge really is how are we supposed to adapt or how are we supposed to pivot given this reality? Should it be just focusing on creative mismo, or do you explore different kinds of business models that allow for flexibility and versatility, working with a client that also has to work on their approval processes so that things can be faster and better? And on the client side, and I just have to point this out para lang maging fair. If there's one gripe that I have, and this is the reason why it's so hard to fix it. If there's one gripe that I have when I was on the agency side, the moment you said that it was a digital video, it meant that the cost would have to be like 1/4 or half. But, and I'm sure the agency guys will bear me out with this, did you know that it takes more effort, that it takes more time, that it takes more resources on the agency to actually create a freaking viral video than a TVC? But agencies can take this. Yun yung reality of the model now. That's why it's broken. That's why there needs to be fixes, there needs to be discussions, conversations. And that's what I wanted to bring up to you. This is an industry event. We have our partners from Marketing Interactive here. That's the question I want to put forward to the Philippine marketing advertising industry. The model is broken. We need to start talking about how to fix it so that everybody is win-win. Agencies get to go home on time and not OT to them. And at the same time, they get paid fair. And you guys get the creatives and the materials that you need to be able to move your businesses forward. And with that, allow me to share that all of the slides that I did today, they're very basic. It will be uploaded on unlock.ph. It's for free. I won't ask for your email, and I will not spam you with different content. Okay, so download the slides as you want. And that's actually it. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a good
I will have probably several questions that these guys want to ask you. Alright, you can text the questions to 0917538991. Carlo, for smaller companies with no marketing automation tool in place yet, what can you recommend? Something cost efficient and highly realistic.
Ano yung text number for questions?
0917?
Dapat 0918 yan. Hindi ako sasagot ng mga Mag-0917.
We'll put that as consideration.
Friend, matagal na tayo makakilala. Miskin mo text. Di ba? Sorry, nag-struck ako. What can you do? Something cost efficient and highly realistic. Shucks. I'm kind of at a loss because I've always been using Salesforce. So I can't think of any. Well, there's Suite. There's a bunch of other automation tools that you guys can take a look at. But so far, yun lang yung really come at the top of my mind. It just points up sa tools that Salesforce provides. We have a command center. We have the entire sales cloud suite. And ang sarap mag-design ng custom journeys. To those who geek out on doing that, it's one of the best tools that you can have for your business. As in literally, you can create automated marketing flows for. That's what I'm okay. There's another one. I don't remember what it's called. It will come to me siguro during the talk. But if I remember what it is, I'll just do it.
Oh, thank you. Go Salesforce.
But sorry, in the absence of marketing automation, what you can do is just really go through the process of segmenting the customer. And then creating buckets of ads that you want to target those segments and then sequentially doing it. So for example, wala kang marketing automation software. Pero you identify that mom 1 likes this, mom 2 is like this, mom 3 is like this, mom 4 is like this. You sequence your creatives so that you tell your story over time. So for example, you want to convince her that this particular type of product works, then you start off with a boosted post that educates and informs her. Then you create another type of material that will start soft selling the benefit of the product. Then, ganyan. So parang you create a story with the materials you create. So it can be automated in the sense, but you can also use existing platforms like Facebook ads and stuff like that to do it on custom segments that you do.
Perfect. With in-house capabilities, how do you ensure that people don't suffer from grouping?
I think it really boils down to two things. One, it's the caliber of people that you hire in the first place. Because if you can hire people who are consciously trying to avoid groupthink, then they will be the ones to challenge that kind of mentality. I think it's a cop-out to say that any creative that joins client will succumb to groupthink. Because there are really strong creatives who are independent, fierce, and passionate about the ideas that they create. So that's number one. Number two, that's the reason why you should always still have the money engagement with agencies, especially for big campaigns. So if you're not satisfied, you're not happy, then you can, outsource it and farm it out to different partners as you wish. But I really believe that groupthink can be avoided as long as the people you hire are not the type who will just keep on saying this.
Good. See the next one. How does AS approval affect the flexibility and speed of your digital strategy? What are the ways you've gotten around?
May meeting po ako sa ASC, 4 o'clock. That's why I see. So may hugot din ako dyan. To be fair to them, I'm sure you guys are familiar with IMAP. So IMAP is the Industry Association for Digital. They've been having a lot of dialogues with ASC to be able to figure out what the right processes are for the different types of materials, especially for highly regulated industries like us. So yun yung mga types of discussions that currently ongoing. But with proper planning and with really thinking ahead of what are the different types of things we need to do, we can actually get ahead of that by having a lot of things to do. It just involves a lot of pre-creation and pre-planning, so you exhaust all the different legs of the journey of the customer. So that we can just create. At guess pwede naman yung mga sunod naming ads eh. Tapos pag kami nito ito, may mga things like that. Pwede naman siya gawin gano'n. Maybe kami mag-A/B test eh. 4 messages, small budget. Okay, this works. Goes every.
See more details from you. And the next one, please. The companies just starting out in digital, what would you recommend we search for in a partner digital marketing agency?
Starting out in digital. So number one, you hire somebody who's competent in digital in your team, so that that person can be the one who can tell you moving forward what are the best processes. Because if you're completely blind, if you do not have a digital person in your team and you rely 100% on a partner, then that can be very disadvantageous to you. That's step number one. So you hire a digital guy and you do your best to be able to find the right person for your company. Number two, if you're looking talaga, and you're in the process already of going for a digital agency, if there's one thing I've learned, is that it's easy to get blinded by the creativity being proposed in pitches. The real challenge when it comes to working with an agency or working with a client is the long-term grind. It's the one-year relationship that happens after. So I specifically, when we do pitches, I ask talaga for the people who will be involved. I study the structure, who will service the account, the background of that person, the processes of the agency, the structure of the agency, more so even than the body of work. But the body of work is important, it's critical, but I will take a look even more and focus on the processes, the people. Because at the end of the day, that's the partnership is really all about. So that's what I would look at.
Thank you. And last question, Carlo. Carlo, career question. I've always worked in digital marketing but the client side. A former colleague encouraged me to try working at an agency.
I think that's a good point.
All right, let's go.
The best decision I ever made was to go agency. Period. Best decision I ever made. Because the exponential learnings that you get of working with so many clients and so many people at incredible speeds will just jack up your experience at a crazy level. It will also jack up your resilience. Magaling kayo matulog ng late, but more so, you will get to meet wonderful people. Believe me, now I seriously miss working in agency. Kasi ako pa, if I could go back, siguro if I was a bit younger and I could still spend more time, I would. I love working in agency. The people there are so much fun to work with. The energy and being able to meet a lot of people. I owe probably 90% of my network today. Is basically because I was in agency. And the people that I met from the different CMOs of different companies, who move on to other companies, to different companies, blah, 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 blah. And if not like you're a people person, you will enjoy it. Kasi you're medyo lumang term, yung Rolodex mo, ng mga tao, sa mga bagets dyan, it's your contact list. Rolodex mo natin gano'n. Your contact list will really exponentially grow if you do it. And number two, you really get exposed to a lot of other more forward-thinking things. Because sometimes when you're stuck in client side, you just see a particular way now of doing things. It's nice to explore and see what other companies also are doing. So it really boils down to what part you are, what phase you are in your life and in your career.
So good, Carlo. Everybody, let's give a round of applause for Carlo. We have a total appreciation for you. A visual summary of what we discussed. Yes. And we'll have a photo. All right. All right. Now, Carlo, please join the group for a group meeting. Everybody, please stand. And let's join Carlo for a group meeting. Let's make it fun, okay? 2 shots, 2 shots. The happy shot, and let's do a dab, okay? Ready? Where do you want to dab? Right. All right. It's the right thing to do, dab. All right. Final first, exercise. 1, 2, 3. Dab to your right, ha? Right. Ready? 1. Ready? 1, 2. Ayan, dito guys. Ayan, PJ. Dapat down. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everybody's next to you. Okay, let's do another round of applause for Carlo Ople.